between our two countries. That is why this is the greatest alliance for prosperity and security I think the world has ever seen. Whenever necessary, we've absolutely backed each other up, and that's at the
Could
core
you take on Russia by yourselves?
Well, can I just remind him, Russia is the aggressor.
The world's been on edge following Kier Starmer's bold statements on Russia and Ukraine. In recent weeks, things have escalated quickly. Starmer, determined to take a strong stand on global security, has been vocal about Russia's aggression in Ukraine and the UK's commitment to supporting NATO. But what happened next?
I can do things financially that would be very bad for Russia. I don't want to do that because I want to get peace. I want to see peace, and we'll see. But in a financial sense, yeah, we could do things very bad for Russia. It would be devastating for Russia.
Donald Trump called Starmer out in a big way, not holding back. He challenged Starmer, asking if the UK could stand up to Russia without America's support.
So far as the UK is concerned, I've been very clear over a long period that we must support Ukraine.
The British Prime Minister Kier Starmer has said he's willing to put British troops in Ukraine as peacekeepers after any deal.
It's unacceptable.
Starmer's in a tough spot, trying to maintain good ties with the US and support President Zelensky while avoiding provoking nuclear-armed Russia. Balancing these interests has him walking a fine line, and with every decision, that line gets blurrier. His efforts to keep everyone happy are turning messy, and the diplomatic fallout could be massive. Despite the challenges, Starmer has been clear about his vision for Britain on the global stage. He's not backing down from taking a tough stance against Russia, pushing for stronger nuclear deterrence, and supporting military aid to Ukraine. Starmer wants Britain seen as a solid ally to Zelensky and a strong voice in global security.
That's 1,000 days of aggression, and therefore I've been doubling down here at the G20 in saying we must give Ukraine the support that Ukraine needs for as long as it needs, put Ukraine in the best possible...
Although many of those governments, of course, were very close to Vladimir Putin, which is one of the things that I've been pointing out to people, that, you know, the kind of derangement around the Trump administration is quite clear, because people in the media in particular, and I don't count you as a deranged person, Dan, because I think you've always been pretty balanced. But the bottom line is that some people will just want to hate everything that Donald Trump does because he's Donald Trump. You know, I've been seeing pictures of George Bush showing Vladimir Putin around his ranch in Texas. I've seen pictures of, you know, Hillary Clinton laughing with Sergei Lavrov, you know, as they look at a piece of paper. You know, there's plenty of pictures you can find of all past American presidents cozying up.
But Starmer is in a tough position, trying to support Ukraine, align with NATO, and keep good relations with the US while avoiding conflict with Russia. But this balancing act is getting harder. Trump and Russian officials have pointed out that his strategy is failing. Trying to please everyone is making Britain look weak and indecisive. Trump warned that the UK might struggle against Russia without US backing. Relying too much on American support could be risky, since Britain's military strength alone might not be enough if tensions escalate. This exposed the dilemma Starmer faces. Supporting Ukraine while managing relations with Russia makes the UK seem indecisive, which, in Trump's view, could lead to a bigger crisis. Meanwhile, Russia responded aggressively. Russian MP Ivan Popov called Starmer inexperienced and reckless, accusing him of stirring up unnecessary conflicts with his stance on NATO's opposition to Russia. Popov warned that Starmer was taking on Russia without fully understanding the consequences, turning criticism into a serious warning. Popov's response got more alarming when he warned that if Starmer continued his aggressive rhetoric, Russia would not hesitate to respond with force. This wasn't just political posturing, it was a clear message that Britain's actions could lead to catastrophic consequences. As Britain tries to balance its alliances, Starmer's attempt to play both sides is making him seem weak. Trump and his allies are starting to question Britain's credibility. Is Starmer a strong leader, or is he just trying to appease too many powerful players? Russia is already taking advantage of Starmer's perceived weakness, using his statements to highlight Britain's declining influence. Rather than projecting strength, Starmer's tough talk is only exposing Britain's struggles on the world stage. Now the big question is, what will Starmer do next? Will he escalate tensions with Russia, risking a deeper crisis? Or will he back down, damaging his credibility? Either choice carries significant consequences. The world is watching. This moment could define Starmer's leadership. Will he assert Britain's strength, or will he back down and risk credibility? The stakes have never been higher,